I knew it would get here, but I didn't expect it to be so soon. It's like a theme in AI these days. In a year, we went from this to this. And this is the first time AI generated video has made me say, wow. This OpenAI Sora announcement has put us at a tipping point. Things are about to get crazy and a little bit scary. I'm Raphael, and welcome to the channel where our goal is to always fix it in camera and then finesse it in post. And up until this point, generative video has been nightmare fuel at best. It's been sloppy, inconsistent, and mostly unusable. OpenAI Sora is the first example I've seen of nearly usable generative video in production. This is going to change content creation forever. For lower end productions, this will disrupt animators and 3D artists and stock footage sites. With the right prompts, anyone can get the shot they need to tell their story. Now, initially, this first video wasn't that impressive, but it's when you scroll down and you start looking at the videos that are being produced, and at first glance, these look phenomenal. These look great. There's no weird undulating in the background, or faces look real. The lighting looks phenomenal. These look like shots that could have been filmed with a pro camera. Drone footage, easily, and even 3D animation, which looks great. The fur is stable. It doesn't have this weird dream-like effect from frame to frame. This one underwater, like you can still see a little bits like that dreaminess. But again, this is more like 3D animation. This alone here would be great for references for animations to come up with mood boards or even examples of shots. But like the feathers in this one, like this looks amazing. This reminds me of Peter McKinnon and the pirate life with the coffee, and then your generic stock shot of man reading a book. And you have all the prompts down here that say what prompt they used. And this is just a few examples, and it goes on and on. This looks like it's right out of a Western movie, and they just have example after example that look amazing. Like even this one, it still has a 3D-esque quality to it, but the fact that it's competing with 3D and not AI-generated video, that's an amazing accomplishment at this point. Again, another example of 3D. Like all this looks amazing and it's great, but there is that scary portion to it where we're gonna get to that in a second. But I just want to talk about how much of a leap this has been since a year ago to today. Like this is going to disrupt 3D animators in general. Stock footage sites are going to be a huge disruptor at this point because with the right prompts, anyone can get the shot that they need to help tell their story. Like this shot was one that made me go, that's fantastic. Because it looks like a video game, but a super high-end video game. It almost looks like a real drone tracking shot. It looks phenomenal. The prompt here says reflections in the window of a train traveling through Tokyo suburbs. And the moment where it passes through the shadow and you see the reflection of someone just standing there without holding that camera, again, like it really excites me. It scares me at the same time, and I'll get that in a second. Travel videos don't even need to travel anymore. You can just make your prompt. Nature videos, surreal videos. Yeah, this one gets a little bit interesting. Like it's very fascinating to look at, but like you can see where it starts to break down. And we'll get to that. This one was really good, but the cat's paw ends up having multiple paws. He puts his left paw in there, and then he puts up another left paw. But if it's just a shot that's in passing in a production, most people wouldn't be able to tell. And they're beautiful and they look great, but you can see in this one where this person here seemingly walks on top of the building and then through the barrier, through that wall. So like when you start really looking at it, you can find the parts where it breaks, where it just looks, where it's off. Most people wouldn't have that kind of level of detail and quality that they'd be looking for. So that's why I say lower end productions are going to be the ones that are going to be disrupted the most, where this is going to be very useful to them. Like these shots look amazing. The hair doesn't twitch or kind of dance like in all the other videos up until this release. Like in this one, you can see where these wolf pups, they blend into each other. Again, in passing very quickly, you wouldn't notice it, but how many pups are there? There's 3. Now there's 4, now there's 5, there's 3, now there's 6, now they just keep multiplying. So it's a glitch in the system with that one. Again, in this one as well, it looks great up until that basketball goes through the hoop. This one is borderline nightmare fuel. The chair coming out of the sand, where it's like, what's happening here? It's like a hallucination or a bad dream where nothing makes sense, or a bad video game and these people are a little bit too happy. That's a whole nother thing. But in terms of the quality, like the fact that they've gotten to here from even a year ago is boggling my mind, like for sure. Like to do an animation like this would be a lot of work. And now it's just a prompt with an adorable happy otter confidently standing on a surfboard, wearing a yellow life jacket, riding along turquoise tropical water near a lush tropical island. 3D digital render. The right prompt will get you the shot that you need. This reminded me of Tom Buck. I'm pretty sure that he's going to come up with a rig like this. And someone pointed out that none of the characters blink. So that may be a telltale sign of AI generated videos. Yeah, this one, again, quickly, but the more you look at it, the weirder it becomes. And I say lower end production and content creation because higher end productions are way more critical for quality and the need for fine tooth control to create the exact shot that best tells their story. That is something that this is not there yet. And most average users won't really care if the shot isn't perfect. Because looking at these, my first reaction is, wow, the fidelity is great, the quality is pretty staggering, and clip after clip, these are amazing at first glance. There is still a ways to go, but the progress from a year ago is crazy and a bit scary. It's crazy because the more these models are trained, the better they will become. And within 1 year, they could seem flawless. Within 2, maybe even directable. And within 3, we could see full-on sequences that are movie ready. The disruption with this technology is coming. But this is also scary because that begs the question, what are these models trained on? Were they trained on assets that were purchased properly, or were they borrowed from stock sites, or just scraped from the internet without the original artist's consent? Because a lot of these shots do have a feeling or style of popular artists. There's a post on X from Ed Newton Rex that poses the question, what were these models trained on? And through OpenAI's own admission, they were trained with both publicly available videos and videos licensed from copyright holders. So that essentially means that they were scraped from the internet and maybe borrowed from a stock site that they already have a deal with. So it's not just exclusively the videos from the stock site. And did any of those artists on those stock sites get compensated for the use of their videos to be in this training data? Because if the stock site got paid to use this, then does that trickle down? And the general knee-jerk reaction to this is that humans do the same. They look, they learn, and they get inspired from other works of art. In essence, they are also trained on that data set. Is it the same? Maybe, but that's a much larger discussion that we all need to have. But I do know that many creatives will do one of two things. They will either dig deeper and create new and exciting art that will eventually get funneled into the AI model to be recreated. And it's very similar to how musical artists have always sought a new sound, or filmmakers with a new angle to tell a great story. Well, the second thing that creatives will do is they will start using these tools and stop creating original art because it's easier to use these tools to achieve the level that they are looking for. Either way, the output of content will go up, but the pool of creatives creating original non-AI works of art, that will go down. And this can lead to AI tools that produce content that is generic, formulaic, or bland, that lacks any kind of personality, passion, or uniqueness, and that does not reflect the vision or the soul of the human creator. there is a risk that using AI creative tools could lead to the decrease in quality standards within the industry. Because if businesses become too reliant on these tools, their work may lack the originality and attention to detail that is necessary for truly excellent results. This could make it harder for creatives to stand out from the competition and differentiate themselves from other companies producing similar content with much less effort. For example, after the initial excitement that these AI creative tools can bring, if they're in the wrong hands, they can generate art, music, or writing that is derivative and predictable and that does not inspire, challenge, or move the audience in any way. Are these AI tools unfair or unethical? Do they abuse the creative content of human creators without their consent, credit, or without any compensation? This can lead to a whole bunch of legal issues, and that can erode the trust and respect or the recognition that human creators can bring to the table when producing works of art. Now, as long as the work isn't bland, and it is indeed new creations, one of the most exciting things about AI's potential is to enhance creativity. I believe that there is still plenty of opportunity for creatives who are willing to embrace this new technology while still maintaining their own unique style and approach. As a creative, I'm always looking for ways to make my work faster and more efficient. So when new creative tools emerge on the market, I'm eager to try them out. And in this video, I talk about the AI tools that have taken my job to the next level. I also live stream on my second channel where I deep dive on the creative process as well as freelance financials. So make sure you check that out. As always, thanks for watching.